dog caught in a trap.
As soon as I saw him, he's got his paw pulling up on the trap.
Why a man led his best friend right into a trap for wild animals, and what's being done to stop it from happening to you. Plus,
it's eye-opening for most people. They don't realize how trackable they are.
tracking your every move, how to stop websites from taking your personal information online, and hit by an SUV. What made a woman so mad she drove right into a girl? But first, our top story tonight, a storm carrying a wintry mix is sliding toward central Texas tonight. It could bring snow, sleet, and rain to our viewers, especially in the hill country. KITV's Angel Covarrubias is live in Fredericksburg with the very latest on the preparations there. But before we go to him, our team coverage starts with Storm Tracker meteorologist Jordan Steele in the Weather Center. So what is this storm packing, Jordan?
Well, so far for West Texas, we've got a lot of snow. We just showed you the radar with that. In fact, behind me, we do have it lighten up with blue, meaning snow is falling. Since we're talking about it, let's show you the video out in El Paso. We had plenty of snow throughout this storm event that developed today and continues to develop, and we're continuing to watch it getting closer and closer to our neck of the woods. You can just see that light snow dusting the area pretty out there so far today. But for us, does it mean we're going to get snow? Well, there's a big question mark there. It depends where you're watching us this evening, and so far all that snow is still to our west, but it's spreading, and it's spreading pretty quick. Now, earlier this afternoon, 5, 6 o'clock, the snow line stayed below I-10, and then we just had rain on the north side of it. But now we have evening cooling temperatures. That snow is stretching further north, and we could maybe even see it stretch a little further east. So folks in the hill country, we will continue to monitor this. You have the best chance to possibly see some of this wintry mix. You folks out in the hill country are under a winter weather advisory. You're going to be right on the fringe of this storm system where you might see some light flurries moving through your area. Meanwhile, everyone else south and east of that line will see mainly rain. Now, temperatures are just too warm for us to see any snowfall in the Austin area. Right now, we're at mid-40s, 43 in San Marcos. Out in the hill country, a little cooler. I'd say we shave about 5 degrees off you as we go in towards the morning hours. So it's looking like the best chance to see some of these snow flurries will be in the morning hours. We'll talk a little bit more coming up on your morning commute and what that looks like in the full storm tracker forecast. Plus, we'll give you an hour-by-hour breakdown of this storm itself. Also, that coming up in a couple minutes.
We'll see you in a few minutes, Jordan. Thanks. Want to check in now on conditions out in the hill country where folks could see a cold and white night. KITV's Angel Covarrubias made the drive over there this afternoon. Angel, I know you've seen a lot of shivering all day. Any snow yet, though?
Well, Judy, we've seen some light snow here throughout the day a couple of times, but nothing significant. Now, we're right here in downtown Fredericksburg, and right now we're in the 30s, and more of those night flurries should continue here as the night goes on. Now, take a look at some video as folks try to find any place to warm themselves. Some taking advantage of free coffee and hot chocolate offered by some of the local businesses out here. Now, rain, sleet, and possible snow will be what's expected for many parts of South and Central Texas overnight, including Fredericksburg, San Marcos, and Austin.
Well, last year we didn't have anything. It was like the flowers were blooming in January last year. Bluebonnets came up in February, so having a little bit of snow would be kind of fun.
And folks, it's expected that these winter weather conditions will let up tomorrow afternoon as temperatures will start to warm back up again. We're live in Fredericksburg. Angel Covarrubias, KITV News.
Thank you, Angel. The preparations are on in Hays County tonight, too. Hardware stores have been stocking up for weather like this so homeowners can be ready. And the City of San Marcos Transportation, Streets, and Drainage departments are all piling up sand and have already gassed up their trucks. Their main concern is iced over bridges.
All the areas that are in the air, our bridges, the cold air gets underneath, and it's easier for them to freeze. And that's when we apply sand to our bridges and our steep incline streets.
The City of San Marcos tells us it will wait until after the system moves through to figure out how much these preparations cost. A warning tonight for potentially dangerous driving conditions during your morning commute. Here's KITV traffic reporter Erica Harpold.
Some basic tips for your morning commute tomorrow if those roads do get dangerous. Slow down, pay attention, give yourself some extra time for your morning commute tomorrow because you're definitely going to need it. Check your tires, make sure your tread is looking good on those tires. And just remember, bridges and overpasses, they freeze first. And also, when the roads are slippery and slick like that, it's not always obvious. So I'll be here tomorrow at 5 a.m. with your time saver traffic every 10 minutes, keeping a close watch on those traffic conditions.
One of the areas TxDOT crews are keeping a close eye on for the overnight and morning commute is just a bit to the south and west of us in the Hill Country. Want to head to Interstate 10 in Kerrville and reporter Lauren Lee from our sister station there.
The temperature is dropping in Kerrville and the conditions are clear, but some drivers are getting off the road ahead of the storm. Several travelers we spoke to made a stop here for the night to avoid the snow and sleet that's on its way. TxDOT crews are ready to de-ice Interstate 10 once it starts getting slick this evening, and the city of Kerrville is ready to sand streets in town if need be. Police say your best bet is to just stay at home tonight if you live out in the Hill Country or if you're trying to get around. If you have to be out on the roads, be very careful because it could get slick and freeze very quickly without warning. You may not be able to see all the slick spots in the dark. In Kerrville tonight, Lauren Lee, KITV News.
Those of you who signed up for KITV's weather text alerts were among the first to find out about our changing weather. To sign up for those daily weather updates from KITV, text KITV weather, all one word, to 58447 or go to KITV.com and click on mobile. You can also get updates on our news coverage plus behind the scenes posts on our Facebook page. Just head to facebook.com/KITV. Regulating strippers, the bill that would impose new requirements on adult dancers here in Texas, and the key detail its author has left out. Plus, spying on the spies, how to cover your online tracks from companies looking to pry into your browsing history. Also ahead.
Man's best friend in a fight for his life. I'm KITV's Alex Boyer, how a walk in the woods nearly turned tragic.
And that wintry mix moving our way. Storm tracker meteorologist Jordan Steele will tell us how long the oncoming winter storm will stay here in Central Texas. From this.
We're back with KITV News.
We showed you the snow in El Paso earlier. As that system moved closer to Austin, it left this powder dusting in Pecos County near Fort Stockton. It is possible parts of our viewing area could see something like this soon. We want to turn now to storm tracker meteorologist Jordan Steele to tell us, well, where and when, Jordan.
You know what? Most of that snow is falling in West Texas, and we've been showing you plenty of video of that snow that fell out towards El Paso. Let's show it to you again. Why? Well, Mainly because I miss the snow and I'm excited to see this video. That's the simplest answer there. In fact, this is the storm system, of course, that we've been forecasting and talking about. We have the potential to see flurries like this closer to home. In fact, many of you folks out in the hill country, you might wake up to a little bit of a dusting. Anywhere in the lowlands, though, I'm not thinking we're going to see much, if any at all, going into tomorrow. Most of the majority of the storm system is well out to the west. So we've been showing you this graphic. It paints the picture perfectly on where this storm system is going to dump the heaviest amount of snow, and that's out towards the Big Bend Mountains, of course, in southern, or I should say southwest Texas. And then as you head north and east, you really see the amounts decrease. Now, closer to home over here on the right side of your screen, we have a chance this footprint does extend into our hill country. Like I said, it doesn't look like we're going to see a lot. Best case scenario would be an inch for you folks in the hill country, and then anywhere south and east of that, it looks like it'll stick to rain, and I'll show you why coming up. Well, I guess the first point would be because temperatures are somewhat on the warm side. 45 in Austin right now. We were actually cooler yesterday at this time. 43 in Georgetown, even Waco's on the warm side of 47. You're a little cooler out towards the hill country. I think you folks will get closer to that mid-30 mark going into the overnight hours tonight as you wake up in the morning, so it still will be chilly, but that's why we possibly could mix in some of that rain and snow, and some of you might just be seeing a couple of flakes as you walk out the door tomorrow morning. Everything in blue is the snow. The pink is the wintry mix, and then, of course, you get in the green, and that's just the plain old rain. And so, of course, you look on the right side of your screen, that's where Austin is. So the majority of that storm is still sitting over Big Bend and is moving north and east at a slow pace, but nonetheless, it will continue to track our direction throughout the night tonight. So we're thinking tomorrow morning will be the best time for us to see any of this type of white stuff coming out of the sky, and the best locations are going to be for you folks out to the west. This beige color you're seeing here, that's a winter weather advisory. That extends through tomorrow around lunchtime. Right now we're seeing it coming down as rain closer to Junction, but that might transition going into tomorrow morning's commute. Again, Austin, folks to the south and east, it's most likely staying as rain, and this will paint the picture perfectly for you. You go into tonight, maybe a couple scattered showers out there. The clouds stick around, of course. Everything in green, like I said, is the rain, and this is showing by tomorrow morning, 5 a.m., we have a chunk of it moving through. Everything in blue will stay on the left side of your screen. We're not really seeing it creep too far to the right. That's why we're thinking it'll stay well up on the Edwards Plateau, and the lowlands here will just stick to that rain shower forecast for tomorrow. 8 o'clock, yep, we'll still keep scattered showers in the mix through tomorrow. By lunchtime, the majority of the storm system is well out of here. We'll keep the clouds. You might see a couple flurries possible lingering as the storm system lingers out of here, like out towards Junction and Mason, where we do have the winter weather advisories. But like I said, the majority of the storm system isn't going to give us much, so driving conditions aren't looking necessarily that bad in the Austin area. Now, folks in the hill country, it might be a little slick if we do wake up to a little bit of that snow. So let's paint the picture here for you. Hill country, if you do see light snow, you have anywhere from about trace to 1 inch. The worst places to be driving, of course, will be the bridges and overpasses if we do get that 1 inch mark, because those are the first to freeze over. The lowlands, Austin, Georgetown, San Marcos, basically 620 eastward. We're not really seeing too much of that wintry mix. It's just going to stick to rain, so we'll put that in the forecast. If you get a couple ice pellets on the windshield, sure, just a little bit, but nothing will accumulate. And then as we go into the morning, for the morning commute, it's looking like travel concerns shouldn't be all that bad. But I say that, of course, give yourself plenty of time just to wake up and look out the window, because Mother Nature can change things in an instant. Tomorrow morning, temperatures in the 40s in the Austin area. We'll stick to the 30s for the hill country. As we go throughout the day, staying chilly. We'll stay in the 40s throughout the majority of the day. In fact, low 40s at that, so we'll keep a chilly forecast. And then comes a warming trend. How about this? So we've got this cold system to get through. And then as you go into the weekend, temperatures warm up. Decreasing rain chances on Saturday. More sunshine as we head into Sunday. And Monday looks fantastic too. And then as you go into next week, let's say Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, more cloud cover. We have a storm system that could produce some thunderstorms on Tuesday, but temperatures keep warming up. Judy asked me yesterday, when is it going to warm up? There's your answer right there.
I'm a sunshine girl.
I'm
a Texan.
Aren't we all?
Thanks, Jordan.
You're welcome.
Trapped and injured, a 9-year-old beagle out for a walk steps into a trapment for a wild animal. It happened in a wooded area of northwest Austin, just off Gentle Breeze Terrace. Tonight, the dog's owner wants to know who set the traps and why. KITV's Alex Boyer went digging for some answers.
It's a walk Mike Stabenfeld and his dog Charlie make several times a day. Charlie especially loves exploring the woods behind his master's home. But on a day much like today, the curious beagle walked right into a trap.
you know, he was clearly in pain and not happy.
Charlie was walking around 25 feet ahead of Mike when he came across this trap lying in the shallow hole. All of a sudden, Mike says he heard Charlie yelp for help. When he ran up to see what happened, that's when he saw those metal teeth clamped around his paw. Mike tried to remove the clamp, but couldn't. He ran for help.
You know, I wasn't sure if Charlie was going to like try to bite his foot off to try to escape the trap.
Luckily he didn't. Turns out the traps were set by animal control after a neighbor's cat was killed by a coyote. 2 signs like these were posted in the woods alerting residents to the traps, but some say that's not enough.
We walk all these roads up here and climb the hills.
Sol Sussman walks his dog close to where some of the traps were set. Like Mike, he never noticed the warning signs.
I'd really appreciate knowing where they are so we could be more careful.
And hopes his German Shepherd mix never suffers the same way Charlie did.
I was frantic. I don't know how else to describe it.
In Northwest Austin, Alex Boyer, KITV News.
Good news, Charlie is expected to make a full recovery. Animal Control has since removed those coyote traps. Now, this story came to us through a news tip. If you have a story you want us to check out, or if you see breaking news happening, email us at news@kitv.com. You can also search for KITV on Facebook and on Twitter. That newly opened downtown Austin post office has some of its 2,400 customers angry. They brought those concerns to us about the lack of parking at 8th and Congress, and we're learning the move is costing them money. KITV's Christy Post got some answers from the Postal Service.
For 16 years, downtown post office patrons have been accustomed to free parking at the 5th and Guadalupe location. But since closing the doors last week and opening up the new ones on 8th and Congress, that's all changed.
I said, "Where's your parking?" And she just laughed.
People come to the post office, they need to park. You know, they run in, they run out, and this is just not conducive to that whatsoever.
I had to drive around the block 3 times, and I'm now illegally parked.
The only options now, parking at a meter or lot, walking, carpooling, or taking the bus. So we dug into why there are no designated spots. We're told under the city code, businesses are required to provide 1 parking space for every 275 square feet. However, on the busy streets of Congress, that doesn't apply.
They were not required to provide parking.
A spokesperson for the post office defends the Congress location, saying the public wanted it there and it's saving them and customers money. That's because the other locations USPS had to pick from were near I-35. If they moved there, that would have forced people to change their zip code and P.O. box key. The solutions they provided, parking on the street for free before 8 a.m. on the weekdays and before 11 a.m. on the weekends.
The parking situation is what it is, and we all know what it is.
Christy Post, KITV News.
The city of Austin says there are 3,000 on-street and 14,000 off-street parking spaces downtown. To find a map of all of them, head to KITV.com and find that traffic section under News Features. Spying on the spies. When it comes to your safety and security on the internet, do you know what's public and what's private? New software can help you fight back and protect your privacy online. KITV's Karen Kiley joins us live in the newsroom. So Karen, you found out if you did any holiday shopping or just use social media, your information can be tracked and sold?
Yeah, Judy, it happens all the time, and it's done through cookies, little bits of data that's stored on your computer and then tracks you as you go from site to site to site. Now, the proof that this is happening is right on your computer screen. Log on to any website, and if you can comment on it, like it, or tweet it, well, all of your information has been tracked. They know exactly who you are.
It's big business tracking your online data. The more they know, the more of a target you become.
They're going to find a way to know as much about you as they can because it's in their financial best interest.
Casey Weaver is a financial security expert. He says companies track your personal data, where you click, what you buy, all in an effort to make money on you through advertisements.
It's eye-opening for most people. They don't realize how trackable they are.
But while they're watching your every click, you can now watch them watching you.
It's really
sensational informational.
It's a new experimental download called Collusion. It's free and lets you see exactly what websites are passing on your information.
Huffington Post here is connected with valuedopinions.co.uk. They're connecting with scorecardsresearch.com.
Don't like it? Want to stop it? Another free download called Disconnect can block the websites from passing on that data.
Disconnect for certain sites will block the cookies, Facebook, Twitter, Google+.
With the Disconnect on your computer, you become essentially invisible, anonymous, and it's obvious on your computer screen. Without Disconnect, I'm able to like videos or post comments. With the cookies blocked through Disconnect, that no longer becomes an option.
It's a catch-22 because a lot of really good sites use advertising for their revenue, and so that's the double edge of that sword. If you try to block everything, deny everything, some of the sites you enjoy, you may be hurting them.
Less revenue for them, more online privacy for you.
Now, one other recommendation from the security experts is about those security questions that you fill out if you happen to forget your password. A lot of those questions ask you social things like what's your high school or what was your high school's mascot? And the answers to those questions can often be found on your Facebook page. So experts say to keep people from tracking you down, from stealing your identity, make up a secondary password for those or make up answers to those questions, but don't put in any information that's easily found online. Reporting live in the newsroom, Karen Kiley, KITV News.
Valuable information. Thank you, Karen. License to strip, one lawmaker's reason for the regulation, plus an important detail he's staying mum about after this break.